A structured meeting place where you can talk about your interests, meet new friends, feel listened to, and or just relax. Well, for individuals aged 12 to 17, the Lennoxville Youth Centre offers all that and a lot more. Over at the Lennoxville Youth Centre, Brooklynn Roy is the Executive Director and Corissa Mullen is the Animation Coordinator. And they've popped in to talk to us about the events, the activities, and the services that they offer there at the centre, and how the centre is really making a positive difference in the lives of youth, French and English-speaking youth, aged 12 to 17. So let's jump into the conversation. Well, good morning, Brooklynn and Corissa, and welcome to About Townshippers.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
Hey, Corissa, what can youth members expect when they get involved in the Lennoxville Youth Centre?
So when our youth members get involved, right away, they have access to our center and the resources that we have in it. We really try and work as much as possible to keep us well equipped so that, if they need any tools or whatnot for school or school projects or art projects, so immediately they get access to that. They have access to our internet, which, as we know, is very important nowadays. And we also provide them with various volunteering experiences in the community, which they can put towards their resume. So that's kind of a great stepping stone since many of them don't have work opportunities yet. But mostly our main goal is to really create lasting relationships and deeper ties to our community.
What would be an example of a work experience or volunteer experience?
So we've done like walking dogs for the SPCA, or we've done picking up garbage in Lennoxville. We also do a lot of different community projects, like we do the Friendship Day. So we'll be there throughout the day helping to run the different youth activities. So that really gets us involved. This past September, we were helping out at Square Queen. We were helping to set up the different tents for the other organizations were there. So just anywhere we can kind of get in.
Is there maybe a common misconception about your youth center, about youth centers in general, that you may want to dispel today?
Yes, most definitely. One of the main misconceptions, and I think it's not just our youth center, I think many youth centers go through this, is that we're only for troubled youth. So youth that have, behavioral issues or maybe issues related to drug or addiction or whatnot. But that's really not the case. Of course, we're always here and we're prepared to help any youth member that's in crisis. But, a lot of our youth are just your average teenager. They just kind of want a place to get away from home or a place to do their homework, hang out with friends. So that is definitely something that we've really worked hard to kind of demystify within our community.
That's important for everybody to know.
Yes, most definitely, because we want all youth to come. We want our doors to be open for any youth member where maybe they do have a behavioral problem that they want to come in and maybe get some resources for, or maybe they just want to come and have a place where they can watch Netflix with their friends. We want to have our doors open as much as possible.
Running a center like yours, it takes resources. It takes human resources. It takes financial resources. So Brooklynn, where does the funding come from for your activities?
So the youth center is primarily funded by a lot of grants and applications, such as PASAC, Centraide, Priorité dans les Dons, Ville de Sherbrooke, and Canada Summer Jobs. Those are our main ones. Of course, we do a lot of fundraising and a lot of different campaigns to get money for the funds for the youth activities. But because of COVID, it's a little harder to do in-person events. So it's decreased a little bit of our opportunities, but we still are trying to be innovative and still do that fundraising to get as much funds for youth activities and projects.
We're getting to the point now where we're going to be talking about, before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID, like in those three important periods. So Corissa, what kind of changes have you guys had to put into place to face the this health pandemic, and how do you foresee things changing in the future?
Well, as with many organizations, we had to learn to be flexible really, really quickly. Every day it seems like we're getting new restrictions or new advice from the government on what to do. So we've kind of had to flip-flop a bit back and forth. In the beginning, we were unfortunately closed for a short period, just while everything was kind of getting settled and people were figuring out, oh yeah, this COVID's a thing. And then in the summer, we were lucky because we were able to mostly focus on outdoor activities. So we were spending a lot of time outdoors doing like scavenger hunts or man hunts throughout Lennoxville, different activities that the youth like to do. Currently, especially with the curfew in place, we have had to completely go online. So we are still fully offering our services. We've just moved it online. So like how before our youth could just pop into the youth center, say hello, or come get what they needed. Now we have had to move online, so they can still just pop in as they want. Sometimes they'll stay the full animation shift. Sometimes they'll just come in for an hour or so. But we do play a lot of different online games. Going ahead in the future, we've come to realize that we need to make most of our resources available electronically, so that we can provide any information that we need to our youth.
It's a huge change for everybody. And I think that's going to be the new word, flexible. Eh? We all have to be
Yes.
flexible and be able to adapt. And now, Brooklyn, while I was visiting your Facebook page, the center's Facebook page, I see that you guys don't work, well, like a lot of community organizations, you guys don't work in a silo, you don't work in isolation, and that you work with, different partners throughout the community. So what role do those partnerships or play in the delivery of your services?
We work with a variety of different organizations and resources since we are a referral service. They all participate in different functions of the youth center. So if a youth comes in and they need help with mental health, well, mental health history is there. If they need help with suicide awareness and maybe just need someone to talk to and ask questions about suicide, Javi is another great resource. We have Javi come in and do trainings as well. So they all play a crucial role in developing us as professionals. As a referral service for our youth. We're in partnership with Mental Health History, Javi, Alexander Galt, Lennoxville Elementary. Youth for Youth was another great resource. They even brought our youth to Montreal to allow them to participate in one of the forums. But we're always looking for new opportunities to create partnerships and bonds to offer youth as much resources as possible and for us to help others.
Now, I know a typical day before COVID looked like, could have looked like this, but now we're in COVID, so it probably looks something like this. So what does a typical day right now look like?
Right now, our typical days, so as mentioned, we do go online right now. Usually we use a lot of online websites where we can play games together. Because obviously we can't really play like a normal board game because not everybody has the same board games. But no, we play a lot of games online. We do Netflix parties. Sometimes we just sit and discuss our days or how school's doing. Last week we had one of our youth, she just popped in and she wasn't really saying too much. She just kind of wanted to be a part of the group and she was doing her homework throughout the evening, and she would ask us questions as needed. So I think it's more just, being able to provide that consistency to our youth members of always being there, always being, at their back. Our hours are always, for the most part, except for in summer, are Tuesday to Friday, 5 to 9. So that's mostly why we had to go online, because we do have a curfew right now. So that is the biggest reason probably we went online, but also our goal is always to, ensure the safety of our staff members and our youth. Right now, we're looking at opening 2 days, in center, and then the other 2 days would be virtual. We decided to do this because, the center is really a part of us, right? It's a place where the youth can come, be away from home for a short period of time, especially nowadays when everybody's just at home all the time. So it kind of gives them that break. It would be at reduced hours because we do need to respect curfew, but just to kind of give them that chance to get out and see other people and use any resources in the center if needed.
So it's again that flexibility thing comes into play. You guys are probably looking at every day and trying to figure out how you can serve the youth members in the best way possible, right?
Exactly. We've had to, jump back and forth a bit, but as long as our youth and our staff are protected, we're trying out new ways as we see fit.
Now, Brooklyn, in the present context, what's the best way for someone to get involved, either as a member and a participant, or even as a volunteer?
So if you're a member or a participant, you can simply message us through our Facebook page or email me to set up a visit before you come into the youth center so that you can see what it's like. I've done that in the past where sometimes there's some youth that have social anxiety and really need to meet me first and the animators in order to feel comfortable. But right now, if you're a volunteer, we're trying to limit the amount of people coming in and out of the youth center to just youth so that they can benefit fully from our services. But after COVID's a little bit more under control, we welcome volunteers with open arms. You can reach to me through my email, through phone, or through Facebook. And we also encourage, if you have a skill or a craft, to book a night that you can teach our kids your craft or skill. And it really helps them see what people in our community have as skills and to develop new skills.
Well, Corissa Mullen, you're the animation coordinator, and Brooklynn Roy, you're the executive director of the Lennoxville Youth Centre, and you guys have been really patient and generous with me today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us. It was really great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Well, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.
If you or someone you know could really benefit from the activities and the services offered by the Lennoxville Youth Centre, well, don't hesitate. You can give them a phone call, you can contact them by email, and you can also reach them through their Facebook page. And as usual, we've put all the information right down here below in the video description. And if you found this video useful and interesting, well, please share and like, because it really helps us spread the news throughout the English-speaking communities of the townships. And you can also subscribe to Townshippers Association's YouTube channel. Thanks for spending a bit of your time with us today. My name is Ed Humphrey, and we're going to be back really soon, as we usually are, with a brand new episode of About Townshippers. See you then.